And I know I just said we're just kind of talking about, the latter half of this year looking like it, big financial problems could start, at least be completely visible at least. Uh, and, the experts are talking about it now. Well, how about Saxo Bank? Chief Investment Officer warns 60% probability of recession within the next 18 months. Well, it's interesting that he's kind of seeing some things now, but 18 months? How about in the next 6 months, the signs will be here, if they're not already visible again? Silver Doctor's article. Saxo Bank's chief investment officer warns 60% probability of recession in the next 18 months. Again, 18? Housing's already at an all-time high. That's already at an all-time high. My friend, which I'm not usually friends with bankers. I don't like bankers, but in this case, I'll call you my friend. 18 months, my ass. Steen Jacobson back on chief investment. What is this? From Adam Taggart, Peak Prosperity. The world economic engine is slowing to a standstill. In his view, the world economy is sputtering badly, so badly that he is confident, predicting a global recession by 2018 or sooner. Because he did say probability of recession in the next 18 months. Maybe that should have said a little more clear, within the next 18 months, because that would cover the next 6 months coming up easily, that I think we're going to see painfully obvious. The credit impulse, defined as the new credit to GDP, has gone negative in the world for the first time since the start of the Great Recession we had in 2008-9. There's that damn phrase again. And this is a completely different article, written by a completely different person. And there's that phrase again. Since the last recession. And the lead is coming again. As always, in the last 10 to 15 years from China. Basically, China's net credit impulse has gone from double-digit positive to almost double-digit negatives. And I can tell you, having just been on the ground in China for a couple of times in the past 3 months, everything is at a standstill. This is very important, as China is responsible for 50% of all new growth, as well as a chunk, huge chunk, of every new credit dollar that has been created in recent years. The credit impulse leads by 9 months. In other words, the pickup we saw in economic activity in December and January was created 9 months prior. And if you look back at quarter one of 2016, we had the worst start of the year in the equity market for a very long time. Consequently, the central banks panicked, especially the European Central Bank, the Bank of Japan, and to some extent the Federal Reserve. This resulted in a huge credit impulse that peaked in April of May of last year. Fast forward 9 months, and we saw a peak in economic activity and inflation. Ever since, we've seen a dramatic deterioration, and this is all based on this 9-month lead, which is coming out of China, now been confirmed to be negative, as well as the U.S. I know it's a long answer, but I think it's important information. Basically, I'm thinking right now, unfortunately, that there is a 60% probability for a recession inside the next 18 months. And probably the most likely period for that to happen would be end of this year because, of course, Trump has not delivered. And when he says that, Trump delivering or not is meaningless. What does he have to do with the global economy slowing down, with all the radar warning signs of that we saw, some of those in 2007, 8, oh, yep, there's a problem. No, there's not. No, everything's fine. And then, boom, it hit us. And then we look back and say, okay, well, we can see this, and this were bad news. And that led us to that in 2008. All the this, and this are here. They're not coming. They're already here now. And not only are they here now, there's a bunch of other ones that weren't there before flashing, which is why I come out here and do these videos every single day to tell you all about them. Not because I'm a doomer and I want to feed doom to you. I want to keep you educated and informed on these matters that I feel are critical. And to let you know, save yourself, because they're going to lose control of precious metals prices eventually. So you better have your precious metals. And in the meantime, I'm gambling like a drunken sailor with Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., cryptocurrencies. And it's paying off. And I hope whatever that turns into will get me through any kind of bad financial times. Again, if you could buy a house cash, you can pretty much work anywhere for any wage and be able to survive. Oh, I just have to pay the basic bills. I don't even have the mortgage payment anymore. No problem. Unless you're living in a McMansion and you have a giant HOA fee and it's deed restricted and you got this fee and your $10,000, I'm talking Florida numbers, $10,000 a year taxes, property taxes, which is high for Florida. 3, 4, 5,000 I can get, you'll see that, but 10,000 in Florida is a lot. And then when you add up those bills, you know what? Maybe this regular job isn't enough to just keep me in my house. And then what? You can't pay your property taxes. Then what happens? That house you thought you owned in cash? Nope, it's being auctioned off for tax money for the city government or county. And that would be a horrible story, to have to deal with. So, anyway, and this was a very short article. That was it. I just want to share that with you. Take care.